new shoes, new.
Anger, rage, sadness. These were the emotions that I felt while watching Ferguson, a report from occupied territory. And that's what I want to talk to you guys about today. What's going on, y'all? I'm JT, and welcome back to In the Feed. Recently in my digital media literacy class, we were tasked to watching a documentary by the name of Ferguson, a report from occupied territory. And it really changed my perspective on African American problems in society. But before we get into all that, I want to ask you guys a question. And I need you guys to close your eyes for this one and really think. There we go. Good job. I want you to think back to a time where you or somebody close to you was hurt. How did you act? Were you passive? Or did you retaliate? Sometimes retaliation isn't warranted, but for the people in St. Louis, it was almost the only option. On August 9th, 2014, Michael Brown and his friend were at a convenience store. They walked out and were stopped by the police, and sadly, Michael Brown was shot dead cold on the ground. An unarmed black man killed for the possibility of stealing. Why was death warranted? Of course, the community was outraged. They were tired of the police treating them like trash and becoming somewhat of a boogeyman. You're supposed to be protecting the community, but you treat them like dirt. For example, did you know that in St. Louis, the fine for jaywalking is upwards of $500? That's ridiculous. Now you're putting the people in a position where they have to choose between paying the multiple fines that they can get due to the multiple
municipality,
whatever that word is, because I can't say that, or going to buy necessities such as food or paying for rent. It's ridiculous. It's almost like African Americans are being put in this position in order for America to make profit. That's because they are. America has always and will always be driven by one thing and one thing solely: money. In Monday's class, we talked about how America's favorite form of entertainment is black trauma. And it led me to come up with something that I call the loop. Now, the first part of the loop is black pain. Now, I don't really think I need to explain this one. It happens way too often. You can look on Twitter or Instagram, you can find plenty examples of this. Very sad, very true as well. Now, the second part is America's favorite part: coverage. This is the part where the videos and the stories of the black man who was killed is spread across the news and social media. It's like you can't escape it. But like my professor said, America loves to watch lynching. For example, something that shocked me was that, did you know in the old days, when a lynching would happen, schools and businesses would be closed just so that white people could go and watch these lynchings? Now, if history repeats itself like it does, why wouldn't they like to watch this new black trauma? Now, part 3 is the meltdown. This is where the community gets tired of the injustice. For example, look at St. Louis. They protest, and most of the time it's pretty non-violent, but they are almost always met with some type of violence by the police. Like, take a look at this clip. On one side, we have the black protesters, unarmed with signs, protesting peacefully. And on the other side, we have the police, trying to induce violence, with riot shields, batons, guns, tanks. It's ridiculous. And yeah, you can argue that they may just be taking caution, but let's look at the whites when they do the exact same thing. No police, no tanks, no riot shields, no guns. It's racism at its finest. And sadly, this leads right into the last part: the reset. After much protesting, we think that the nightmare is finally over. But as one thing goes, another thing starts. As one black man is killed, we hear another story about another black man killed. And it makes us numb. But that begs the question, why do we still try? If we know the outcome of these situations, why do we still try to make change? And to answer your question, I'll tell you to look at our lineage. In black history, we have prevailed during times where we should have not made any changes. We have never given up, and we've been determined to make change for the better. If we haven't stopped back then, why would we stop now? Thank you for watching this video. I know the last vlog was a little bit more funny and witty, but I think I needed to take a step back and be a little bit more serious on this vlog. If you guys like what you see, make sure to hit the subscribe button to dive deeper into the feed, and I'll see you guys next video.